Welcome to Pots, Pans, and Pioneers. Today I'm going to be making a chicken marsala. And I'm going to be using chicken thighs. You could use chicken breast, any part of the chicken that you desire. Chicken thighs, to me, are more tender, and they make this dish way good. So I've got half a stick of unsalted butter, a little bit of olive oil, and garlic in a pan on the stove. And I'm going to get everything melted and the butter melted and get it incorporated with the olive oil. Okay, and we're going to add some ingredients along the way as it starts to melt down. And I'm going to add a little bit of the hydrated onions. You could use fresh onions if you wanted to. I can't use fresh onions, but if you wanted to, you can. We're going to put a little bit of cracked pepper in here. Just a little bit of black pepper. The reason I'm adding the pepper to this hot, or what's getting to be a hot pan, is because when the pepper hits the heat, it's going to secrete the oil that's going to really give you that some of the pepper flavor. Okay, so we're going to get this all incorporated together. Nice and soft. The pan heated up. Mixed up. And while this is going on, I'm going to go ahead and get the chicken ready. So we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, we have our butter, garlic, olive oil, some pepper, and we're going to go ahead and start adding in our chicken thighs. And we're going to have quite a bit of room in this pan. I use this pan on purpose because it's really going to be able to saturate the meat really well. You don't ever want to have crowded skillet. And this is just organic chicken thighs that I got at Whole Foods. And we're just going to brown the one side. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of the AP flour on top of the side that I've not turned. You don't want to, you could have doused your chicken in flour, but I'm not going to. It's just the easiest way for me, or how I learned to make this. I've got my stove on about medium high. I'm not looking for a dark brown because I don't want my garlic to burn and I don't want the butter to burn. And I'm just going to turn the chicken over. You should be smelling olive oil. Should be smelling olive oil, butter, garlic, and the pepper. That's really what you should be smelling. We don't want this to become a dark gravy or anything like that, so we're going to keep it on medium. Okay. I'm going to add some parsley. Dried parsley. We're going to add some lemon juice. You could squeeze one lemon. I'm going to add one whole lime. Squeeze each little side. Now the lime and the lemon juice are really going to make this even more tender because of the acid that's in it. It's going to break down the meat even more. We're going to mix this all in. Turn our chicken again. And you don't want it to stick. You want to keep moving the chicken around. I'm using a stainless steel pan, and for those of you using non-stick, great. But for stainless steel, you really want to keep moving your dish so that nothing sticks. Okay, Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of, I have some chardonnay, and I'm just going to add a little bit of chardonnay. I buy these little small bottles to cook with. We don't drink wine in our family, but I cook with it quite a bit, so it's just white wine. Don't cook with anything you wouldn't drink, and I do like some wine, but not a lot. I'm just going to put a little bit, and then I'm just going to pop this in the refrigerator and use it for another dish. Now you could put a lot more wine in there than that. That's just what I'm choosing to do. Again, we don't really want our chicken to stick, so I'm going to move it around. It's really strong. Okay. And we're going to add probably a half a cup of chicken broth. Let me grab my chicken broth, I forgot it. Sprouts version, or their organic version. Alright, we're just going to add about a half a cup of chicken broth. We're going to put a lid on this. And we're going to let this cook down for 15-20 minutes, somewhere in that range. I'm going to keep it on a medium-high. Be right back. Okay, I've got about 5 more minutes left on the time. I'm going to remove the lid and going to flip the chicken over. And I've taken a teaspoon or a heaping teaspoon of cornstarch. You could use potato starch or anything like that. And a half a cup of half and half. And I'm going to pour this half a cup of half and half in here and cook it the rest of the time. Make sure you're always putting cornstarch in something cold. If you put it in something hot, it's going to be really lumpy. So I'm going to pour this half and half in the cornstarch to thicken up this sauce. And we're going to swoosh it around. Turn up the heat a little bit. This is just a butter lemon sauce. It's really good. Not healthy per se. It's unsalted butter. And I don't know if you can hear this or not, but my husband's out there power washing. He decided to power wash. He's forgotten that I'm cooking dinner and doing a video. So you'll have to forgive us. Anyway, so the remaining 4 minutes looks like. We're going to bump up the heat and cook this the remaining of the way, and when we come back I'll throw the rest of the meal together. Okay, let's finish off this dish. I boiled up some spaghetti, and this is organic multi-grain spaghetti, and I'm just gonna, you could use egg noodles. I've had this with egg noodles. I've had this with fettuccine noodles. I've had it with all sorts of type of pasta, and it just it's yummy. It doesn't matter what you put this on. You could put this on a piece of toast and it would taste good. So, all right, and let me just share with you how I cook my pasta. A lot of people put oil in their water to boil up their pasta, and I recommend that you never put any kind of oil into the water of the pasta, just because it puts a coating on the pasta, and it actually blocks it from absorbing any kind of flavors or, you know, sauces. So when I know I'm going to put a really good sauce on the pasta, I always you know, I don't add salt, I don't add butter, I don't add oil or anything like that. I just sprinkled a little bit of parsley. I don't add anything. I just let the flavors of the meat and the sauce really drink up the pasta, you know, the pasta drink that up. So I've even added raw spinach to this, a little bit of raw spinach. It's just wonderful. So I hope you'll try this recipe. I've got to get working on my dinner rolls so we can have rolls with this. I've got to get those into the oven. So thank you very much for watching this video. This is $4 worth of organic chicken. This meal costs less than $5, and it'll feed like 4 to 5 people. So I think it's really an inexpensive meal. I think it's yummy. And the little bottles of wine, you find them in the 6-pack cart. I buy them on sale with a coupon, and I just keep them in the pantry. And then once I open it, I use a little bit, and I use the rest for other meals or whatever it is that I'm making. So we'll see you next time, and thanks for joining Pots, Pans, and Pioneers. And to find a copy of this recipe, please visit my blog at potspansandpioneers.com, or come over to our Facebook page. We have lots and lots of people that have liked our Facebook page and get daily really cool recipes and really good tips on gardening. And I go through and I hand select things that I think are important for homesteading, farming, or just everyday living. So anyway, we'll see you next time. Everybody have a blessed night. Thanks. Bye-bye.